Day 3 and the first day of pads, right? No, it's not. If you guys were here before, allowed to wear spiders gets you able to do a lot more things. Tell the guys up front, the offensive line in particular, that this is really the first day of hitting. But it was good. I think that we're continuing to push them. I think we're getting good fortunes right now with the weather to allow us. Obviously, the first 2 days we had cramps. Day 3 we didn't have any cramps. So I think there's some things we're doing a better job of taking care of our bodies. But this is just a start, and we know we got a long way to go. And it's about preparing ourselves mentally in a lot of the things that we do, and that's what this is. So only day 3, but like where we are, I think there's great competition. I think if you've been here, you haven't seen us lose our emotions. That's what one of my challenges is. Can we push ourselves, compete like we do, but not lose our emotions and allow us to play with emotion, but not lose the emotions. So all in all, I think it's really good, and we got to do a better job throughout the entire day, because even at night we do a lot of football and mind things, and I think we got to use that really, really well, because we don't get this opportunity when we go back to campus.
Luke, there was a couple of sessions in the middle of practice there where you had more of the reserve type and the 1s and 2s split up. How valuable is that to give those guys some extra reps where you can get both kind of groups there, both reps?
Well, I think it's really important. I think this is the days of camp where if you're a young guy and you're not getting any reps, it's really, really difficult. And if you're a young guy and you're getting thrown in there, with some of the groups, you don't know what you're doing. It's hard to play aggressive and fast. So I think sometimes when we can take those young guys in the middle of practice and allow them to play, it allows those guys to kind of get the joy, see the things that they can do, see how they can react without maybe everybody right on top of the 3 or 4 plays that they would get, in between the 1s and the 2s. And then it gives us some time as coaches to spend with them. You only get so much time. I know we got a lot of time out here, but you can only watch so much stuff if you've got an hour and 20-minute meeting. And sometimes you don't get to the young guys, and that's not good for them. So we'll have an opportunity to be able to watch those guys specifically on film and spend a little more time with them.
With Michael Mack and his waiver, do you kind of know where that stands, or how likely that is with that academy rule? If you leave after year 2, you need one?
No, I don't know where we are with that. I think that the great thing about that one is I think the academy's all on our side. I think that they want to help Michael out from everything that I know and everything that they've kind of said. So there's still a little bit of a process to go with that, but we're optimistic. We're trying to get him, obviously up to speed with a lot of things we're doing, because I think he sat for a good month or so without the ability to, know what it was going to be able to happen for him. So I think he's got a great attitude, and I think that's what's most important right now.
What has the experience down here been like for you guys?
It's been awesome. I mean, I'm used to being away for camp. That's just kind of the norm for me. I don't think our guys are as used to it. I think they are enjoying. I'm not sure that they would say everything's enjoyable. Like when they go back to that room, they got that little bed, and maybe it's not quite the same as they've got at home, but I think all in all, they're recognizing some of the things that gives us an opportunity to do. And I know for me and for us, for coaches-wise, it's invaluable.
Joe Huber's a guy that you coached before at Cincinnati. What do you think he's done in his transition to here, playing guard and kind of asserting himself in that first line?
Joe just does everything well. I mean, you talk about a guy that you can put the ISO cam on and you're going to see exactly how you want to play, and whether he's at center, whether he's at guard, whether he has a bad snap, or whatever happens, the next play he's going to continue to go. I think he's a great example for the things about what work and what effort looks like. For him, it's the toughest thing is he has to bounce back and forth, right? And in some way, somehow, he's going to be in there. He's going to have a lot of opportunities. We're going to need him, whether we play with 7 offensive linemen, whether he's one of the 5 or not. He has got a bright future, and I think that he gives us a chance to mix some things around and figure out what's going to be the best order for us to be in.
We didn't get to see Bryson in the spring. Has he shown you some of the things that you guys liked about him coming in?
Yeah, I think the first couple of days, and even like the OTA stuff, he was so anxious to do everything. He's such a play hard guy and do everything at 100 miles an hour that there is a point in time when you got to kind of take a couple deep breaths, relax a little bit, be smooth in some things that you're doing. But I think that today was another really good day for him. I think we're seeing all the other things he can do as opposed to just being a guy that can catch the football. He can set an example, he can block the perimeter, and then when you actually need to be physical, I mean, there's a guy out there that I can promise you is going to be physical.
The other transfer that you brought in after spring ball is Nigeria. What do you like about him? What have you seen there early on?
I think physically, I just like him as a guy that's got some length to us. He's a guy that's probably could play a bunch of different positions, corner, nickel, and possibly safety. But those guys that come in that don't have as much time with us to even do the OTAs or even spring ball, it's hard to kind of move them around a couple positions. So Nazir and Michael, where we think they've got some versatility, we want to be able to find out what they can really do. So we got to kind of put them in one position, let them compete, and get them comfortable at least with how we do things to see what exactly their skill sets will be. But they're going to give us some great depth, some great competition. They're going to play some ball for us this year.
Coach, even though you're down a couple of tight ends, you got some other tight ends here. Specifically, what is the tight end's role in your offense?
It's everything. I mean, you saw today we're in 2 tight ends in the game and pounding the football in some situations, and then the guy's got to line up as a flexed out guy and move himself back in the box. I think that the uniqueness of what the tight end position used to be, it was, I won't say simple, but there wasn't as much versatility to it, meaning not just physically what you have to do, but mentally what you have to do. And now for our guys, it's a lot more versatility of knowing all the different things, whether it's the passing game from the outside, passing game from the inside, or all the stuff you got to do in the run game. So I think the biggest thing I would say, it's not one in particular thing, I think, but the versatility of the tight ends in our offense is going to be really, really key.
When did you know that
Monday night, I think we left on Tuesday. Monday night was when we first, I got wind of the, hey, this probably wasn't what they were going to do. So that's it, not a whole lot of time. It wasn't like we, knew exactly, and we weren't positive on Monday night that they weren't going to come with us out here. So there's still some options open, so we'll see.
Is there a player or position group you've been most surprised with so far in camp?
It's hard to pinpoint. I think that, I think my challenge to the defensive front guys in particular, I think has been a little bit unique, meaning that we got to find a way to play with 8 or 9 guys, and so that challenge of figuring out what that role is, even if it's play 3 plays and run off as fast as you can, I think that I've been impressed with how they've handled it. Sometimes guys want to be the guy, I want to be in there all the time, and we're even rolling around maybe who starts, just to see what kind of attitudes guys have. Do they really believe in the things that we're saying about it doesn't matter who starts, but we got to play guys, and we got to play at this type of level with this type of effort in order for us to dominate like we want to.
What have these first couple of days been like, not only for what you've seen on the field, but for yourself personally, a couple of days really getting going here?
It's not like a time to kind of think back or I'd say appreciate where you are, but just kind of get locked in. I mean, there's just so many new things, and everything that we do. Day 4 is going to be the first day 4. I mean, the first situation of football that we've done together, where it's going to be a little bit more of live situation. So everything for me is new. Everything for our coaching staff together is new with these guys. So every day brings us something a little bit different. We've got notes over the last 6 years at what day 4 was like, what day 5 was like, and where that break was. And when you get a new team and you get a new nature of the beast and culture of things, all that stuff's new and different. So every day it takes me a little bit more time to just kind of reflect on where we are and what we're doing and what the next day is going to look like. I'd be remiss if I didn't say congrats to Joe Thomas. Obviously, this is an incredible weekend for him in particular, obviously his family, but us as Wisconsin Badgers as well. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people around the state celebrating, but nobody more than obviously the Thomas family. So I'm going to make sure we congrats to him and his family. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach.